Q8382. By changing the angle of attack of a wing, the pilot can control the airplanes. A. Lift, gross weight and drag. B. Lift, airspeed and drag. C. Lift and airspeed, but not drag. The correct answer is B. The angle of attack is the angle between the wing's chord line and the oncoming airflow. By adjusting the angle of attack, the pilot can control the lift generated by the wing. Increasing the angle of attack typically increases lift, while decreasing the angle of attack reduces lift. Additionally, the angle of attack affects the airspeed of the aircraft. A higher angle of attack typically results in a slower airspeed, while a lower angle of attack allows for a higher airspeed. Furthermore, changing the angle of attack also affects the drag experienced by the aircraft. Increasing the angle of attack generally increases the amount of induced drag, while decreasing the angle of attack can reduce the induced drag. Q8399. At which speed will increasing the pitch attitude cause an airplane to climb? A. Low speed. B. High speed. C. Any speed. The correct answer is B. Any increase in pitch or drop in speed below L/Dmax causes total drag to increase, which results in a descent with a fixed power setting. The overall drag will decrease when running at speeds above L/Dmax and pitch is increased or velocity is decreased, resulting in a climb with a fixed power setting. Q8379. How can an airplane produce the same lift and ground effect as when out of ground effect? A. The same angle of attack. B. A lower angle of attack. C. A higher angle of attack. The correct answer is B. When an airplane is in ground effect, it experiences a reduction in the induced drag due to the proximity of the ground, resulting in an increase in lift. This occurs because the ground effect reduces the downwash and vortices generated by the wing, effectively reducing the effective angle of attack required to generate lift. Therefore, to maintain the same lift when in ground effect, a lower angle of attack is typically needed compared to when the airplane is out of ground effect. 8379-1. What is the absolute ceiling of an airplane? A. The point where the minimum rate of climb becomes lower than the optimum L/Dmax speed. B. The altitude at which the aircraft is unable to climb at more than 100 feet per minute. C. When the maximum rate of climb and the maximum angle of climb speeds converge. The correct answer is C. There is no surplus power at the ultimate ceiling, and only one speed will permit constant, level lighting. As a result, the airplane's absolute climbing produces no rate of ascent. When the maximum rate of climb and the maximum angle of climb speeds converge, this happens. 8357. In a light, twin-engine airplane with one engine inoperative, when is it acceptable to allow the ball of a slip skid indicator to be deflected outside the reference lines? A. While maneuvering at minimum controllable airspeed or less to avoid overbanking. B. When operating at any airspeed of VMC or greater with only enough deflection to zero the side slip. C. When practicing imminent stalls in a banked attitude of over 60 degrees. The correct answer is B. When operating at any airspeed of VMC or greater with only enough deflection to zero the side slip. When flying a light, twin-engine airplane with one engine inoperative, it is acceptable to allow the ball of a slip skid indicator to be deflected outside the reference lines when operating at or above VMC, minimum control speed, with only enough deflection to zero the side slip. This allows for coordinated flight and helps maintain control of the aircraft.